Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is a Connecting to Healing interview. And today I am interviewing Roz Solomon. Thank you so much for joining me today, Roz.
Thank you so much for inviting me to be here, Stephanie. I'm excited.
Absolutely. So I would love to give our listeners a little bit of history about you. So tell us a little bit about your healing journey and what brought you into this practice that you're in now.
Sure. So the nutrition side of things started in my late teens when I ended up having bulimia, and then ultimately finding a naturopath who was able to guide me and show me a correct way to eat so that I could really eat in a way that I felt full and satiated without the concern of putting on weight. And as a result of his mentoring, I have been able to then share that plus many other things that I've researched over the last 35, 40 years of studying nutrition to be able to help others so that they are empowered to be able to have healthier lives where they don't have to worry about the quantity that they eat, as long as they eat it in the right way and the right kind of foods. So never have to feel deprived, never have to do tons of exercise, and be able to keep your health and your body shape. That's my goal. That's my
Nice.
goal for others. Yeah.
So then what brought you into hypnotherapy? How did you get started with that?
I trained as a massage therapist some 25 years ago. And over the years, I've just studied different modalities. And then in 2005, I became fascinated with hypnosis. I trained in a modality of hypnotherapy, but I didn't feel very comfortable. It was more past life regressive. And I didn't feel that I really had it there in my hands. And I'm one of those people that if it doesn't feel like I've got a good grasp, I can't take it out to the world and share it with others. It doesn't feel authentic to me to be able to do that. And then about 4 years ago, I heard about RTT hypnosis, and I trained with Marissa Peer in a live event in LA. And I just absolutely love, because it's rapid transformational therapy and it really does help to get to the core issue of what a person's dealing with, the underlying reasons why they have the problems that they do, which most of us don't have a connection to because they're from our childhood and they're usually prior to that logical phase of our lives. So it's wonderful when people actually understand the reason why they're dealing with an issue, and then we transform that and it goes from their body, and their lives just evolve into a whole new way, the way that they want it to be. And that's what it's all about, is empowering people to be able to have the life that they want.
That is fascinating. I love that. This is amazing.
Thank you.
I love that we're sharing this with the people. So, what is your professional background? Did you get like a higher education with a university degree and all that fun stuff before you ended up in massage?
I did not get a degree. I actually did a couple of years at a community college, and I realized I have terrible math skills. I love hands-on work. I'm a kinesthetic person. And when I trained as a massage therapist, I went full into therapeutic type work. And I also certified in a modality called zero balancing. And I worked, as I said, for 20 something years and still do some massage. But obviously, COVID made a shift in that. And I was fortunate that I had trained in hypnosis and also through the years had studied different aspects of health and nutrition, which was more for my own purpose. But then I loved sharing with people and then seeing the results that they got, that I eventually trained as a coach and started coaching people in the nutrition and health field as well.
Wonderful. when the pandemic did hit, a lot of us had to shift and pivot and do all kinds of things with our businesses. I know I certainly did. So
Yes.
what exactly, how did you make that shift? What did you have to do to change your trajectory with your business?
It was a challenging trajectory to change because up to then everything was word of mouth with people in the town that I live in, with face to face, in person. And now suddenly I had to learn how to do everything online. And that's been a huge shift for me because technology has never been my forte. So I've had a lot of learning. It's been like this curve going like this all the way up, and I'm still on that trajectory as well. So I'm still learning, and I'm starting to like elements of it, but there's a way to go. I'm not a big social media person, so that I find is probably my biggest challenge is putting myself out there in social media because I am such a person to person type of person. But the one thing I love about the hypnotherapy is that I do have the ability to do it over Zoom, and we call it Zoomnosis. And
That's cute.
yeah, and it works great. So it's really awesome to be able to help people, irrespective of where they are in the world, with literally whatever issues they're dealing with, whether it's an anxiety, whether it's food related, whether it's a habit or a fear or a phobia. It doesn't really matter because hypnotherapy covers the gamut of different issues. And I've worked with children from 9 years old all the way through to adults. I think my oldest client was probably about mid 70s.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
So people can change even in their senior years. That's wonderful.
believe believe it, there is hope for everybody. But you know, the thing with children, I haven't done a lot of work with children, but my first client was actually a little 9-year-old girl who was adopted, and her parents were having issues with behavior and things like that. And we did some work, and it was amazing because she had RAD, which is a reactive attachment disorder. So she
Hmm.
wasn't really bonding with the parents, even though she'd been with them all these years. And it was really a trust issue from being adopted at 2 years old and having been to a couple of foster homes. So a lot of that was worked out. And now she's actually about 12, 13 years, say about 12 years old. And she's a contender for the Olympic gymnastics, which is really exciting. So there's been just a shift in her and who she is as a person, her goals, her mindset has just shifted so dramatically. So
That
it's
is
exciting.
awesome. What a great story. I
Thank
love
you. Yeah,
it.
I love it too.
So, what are your specific products and services that you offer right now?
So I do the hypnosis, as I say, which is mostly Zoomnosis now with people through the internet, through Zoom. And I offer a variety of different, solutions. One of my favorites is actually working with people who are dealing with weight issues, and I've worked with a lot of menopausal women. But I've had some great success also working with people who are dealing with business blocks. And in fact, one of my best stories I can tell you was a young lady who was a realtor. She was in her mid 20s. She came to me soon after I qualified as a hypnotherapist. And she had trained as a realtor, but she was feeling very unmotivated and just couldn't get her act together. She came for a hypnotherapy session, and within 6 months, she was so on fire that from the July to the December of the year before last, she sold $4 million worth of property,
Wow.
and she created her own brokerage business, And she was so impressed by the hypnosis results she received. She trained as a hypnotherapist as well with Marissa. So it's, yeah, amazing. So,
That's great.
and then
Wonderful.
I was going to say the other thing I do is the nutrition coaching. And I have a program which is a month to month, but I ideally encourage people to do at least 6 months so that they really get the support on their weight reduction journey and learn about all the different things that help them and hinder them. So that's the other program that I offer, is the weight reduction.
Awesome. Okay. So then what is it like to work with you?
Well, with the hypnotherapy, I'm presuming when you say what is it like, you're
I
talking
guess
about.
what kind of practitioner are you? How do you do your business? How does it work?
Okay, so usually most people will schedule a call with me, and I call it an exploratory call. It's free or complimentary for 25 minutes. We'll have a chat. We'll get to find out what it is you're looking to achieve, how I might be able to help you, see if we're a good fit to work together, and then determine a program that's going to best work for whatever your needs are, whether it's going to be the hypnotherapy, whether it's going to be the nutrition coaching. And for a lot of people who are dealing with the weight issue, it could be both, that they need some hypnotherapy to help them to break the cycle and to recognize what's causing the cycle, and then the coaching to support them on their way to their journey. So that could be a journey for them. With the hypnotherapy, I usually like to have people do at least 2 sessions, preferably 3, and I do offer a 3 package discounted program so that they are able to get the full experience of it, because so often you touch on one thing that gets released and uncovered, but it brings something else. It's like you have an onion and you're peeling the layers away. And as you're doing that, you're getting to the core issue of what is there in the middle. So by doing that, I find that people are able to then work through and get to a real good sense of feeling like they can work through the rest of it on their own. And then, if they ever need any support on the way thereafter, I'm here.
That's great. So it sounds like the hypnotherapy and the nutrition coaching blend really nicely together for certain people. So
Yes.
that's wonderful that you've got both of those to offer.
I think it's a nice combination because of the way that the hypnosis works with the subconscious mind and the unconscious beliefs and the causative. And then the coaching for the nutrition helps people to understand and to make the shifts in their behavior and have different choices that empower them.
Yeah, choosing the right foods and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of therapeutic approach do you use? You mentioned this rapid transformation therapy. Can you talk
Right.
a little bit more about that? Like, how does it work?
Well, that is the hypnosis. And so I'm going to just give you an idea. A lot of people have some negative feelings about hypnosis because they don't really understand it, or they've seen a stage hypnotist that's maybe made people run around tucking like a chicken or
Right. Yeah.
barking like a
Gross.
dog or whatever. The reality is that everybody can be hypnotized, and some people feel they cannot because they're really wanting to be in control, and they're scared that someone else might be in control. And that's absolutely not true. When a person is in hypnosis, there is no way of controlling them or making them do something. So the stage hypnosis experience is usually because somebody's got this little desire to actually be a little more of an extrovert, exhibitionist, but they're a little cautious of doing it. And so the hypnosis is a good excuse for them to do it. But the best way I can explain is we've all experienced hypnosis at some level. So sometimes you might be watching a movie and you get so engrossed into it, and the person's going through a love scene and you start crying or whatever. And it's because you're literally enraptured and you're in a space of, it's like your conscious mind has gone to sleep and your subconscious is there experiencing all the emotions. The other is like when you're driving a car and it's a familiar road and you're used to driving it, and maybe you're driving home from work and suddenly you pull into your driveway and you're like, I blew off the last 10 minutes of my drive. I have no idea. I mean, has that happened to you?
Yes. Before I learned about mindfulness, definitely.
About mindfulness.
Yes, I use mindfulness practice, especially when I'm driving. But honestly, mindfulness has helped me in a lot of other places in my life. So I use it all the time.
Well, I will tell you that when you're driving and you go into that, I want to say almost non-mindfulness, the mind, the subconscious mind takes the wheel, and the subconscious mind has a lot more control than the conscious mind. So if there was somebody who suddenly stopped in front of you, your reaction would immediately be there because your subconscious mind would then throw your conscious mind into gear to make it happen.
That's
so
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Okay. So how do you know when you're doing a good job? I know you love to see those transformations. So do you collect testimonies? Okay. So how do you know when you're doing a good job? I know you love to see those transformations. So do you collect testimonials from your clients or ask for reviews from them?
I will, as much as possible, get testimonials from people, and obviously I have quite a number of them from different people that I've worked with. Referrals are always a good way to know that I've done a good job. And you know, people at the end of their sessions saying to me, that was amazing and I can't wait for my next session. That always lets me know. And then there's also that intuitive, where you know you're just following somebody down that right rabbit hole to uncover and allow whatever is there for them to open up so that it's no longer going to be a problem for them.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. So then how can people get a hold of you if they're interested in working with you?
Well, I have my Calendly link, which is very easy. It's a bit.ly link, bit.ly/chat with Roz, spelled R-O-Z.
Excellent.
And then I also have my email address, which is roz@bodybalancing.com.
Perfect. Okay.
So
wonderful. Thank you so much. I was thinking, would you like to leave our listeners with a final thought about health and wellness, anything nutrition or hypnosis related, anything at all?
I would like to leave them with a couple of different thoughts. Oh, and also I would like to say I am on Facebook, and so you could always find me on Facebook, and it's under Roslyn Solomon, Roslyn, at Body Balancing. And I believe it's Hypno Roz, HYPNO Roz, period 717. I think that is the Facebook. What I would like to just leave your listeners with, firstly, if you are dealing with weight issues, very often people who are challenged with weight are usually stress eaters or boredom eaters. And my recommendation to you to help you on the path is when you feel that you are stressed, bored, maybe even angry, and you're looking for something to eat, first grab a glass of water. Drink at least an 8-ounce glass of water and see if that helps you. And if you curb your appetite, that's great. And then if the pangs come back again, drink another glass of water, because the more water you drink, the more you're flushing out of your body. And you could always add some lemon juice or some cucumber slices or something like that into your water. And when it comes to the hypnosis, if you know you've got repetitive patterns happening in your life that are relationships, you keep attracting the same type of person in your life, you keep having the same habits, you want to stop smoking, you're keeping biting your nails, whatever the issue might be, give me a shout. Let's make a plan, have a chat. It could be something that could help you. So whatever you're dealing with, and if it's anxiety as a result of this whole COVID thing, really, there's so much that hypnosis can help with. So, and I'd love to help you. Just get in touch with me.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Roz. I so appreciate your time today. And well, I hope that you create a beautifully successful business and that everything just blossoms for you.
Thank you, Stephanie. I really appreciate you having me here on your chat and sharing with your guests. And I hope that it inspires some people to make some differences in their lives, because transformation and becoming empowered, making changes that are for your betterment is what it's all about. So I'd love to help if I can.
Yeah. Wonderful. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye, hon.